You retired from that. I know.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it'll be.
Ribbon?
She
City bus
told me to
company.
move it on. Oh, okay.
We're ready?
Oh, yeah, it's not. We're ready.
Yep,
Yep,
we're
it's-
Yeah,
I'd like to call the Police and Fire Commission meeting to order Wednesday, January 7th, 2026 at 6:33, 108 North Cape Run Street, second floor, Council Chambers, Berlin, Wisconsin. Meeting is open to the public and City Hall is handicap accessible. City meetings can be watched live or recorded on the City of Berlin YouTube page. Roll call.
Monahan?
Yep.
Hess?
Yeah.
Ross?
Here.
Milky?
here,
Prince?
Here.
Therefore,
No virtual attendees to seat. No general public comments that I've received. Approval of open minutes from December 3rd, 2025. The recommendation is to approve the December 3rd, 2025 open minutes of the Police and Fire Commission.
I will make a motion that we approve the minutes from December 8th, 2025.
Second.
We have a motion by Hess, second by Kadoki. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, fire department discussion on junior firefighter program. Recommendation discuss with action as appropriate.
So we are looking at starting a junior firefighter program.
Is it like,
Hold on. Okay. To start a junior firefighter program that would reach out to 16 to 18-year-olds, seeing if we can find some interest, ultimately helping in our recruiting. But if we get this program started, they would get to see the inner workings of the fire department and find out if this is something of interest for themselves. We can actually even get them into firefighter 1 schooling during this time. So when they turn 18, they'd be all set to go and prepared. We did discuss it with the city insurance company and they're on board. They actually gave us some more information if we wanted to pursue some more things. And we discussed it with the city attorney. They just made some changes into our, what we call our enrollment sheet. But other than that, they were all on board. So we're just looking to get your support. And if that works, we'd like to move forward.
I think it's a great idea. You gotta get the young kids into this. Just
Yeah, what's the current number, what's the roster at right now?
22,
22, and the max can be 30.
35.
Okay.
We'll work to do that.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
What kind of costs are you looking at? Like, do you have a,
We really don't foresee too much for costs at all. We have used turnout gear that they can use, to practice in. The schooling, there's no charge for it. We did have to buy 2 firefighter 1 essential books at a couple $100 a piece. But that's about it for right now.
and like,
I
what,
mean, we're starting new with this. We don't really know where it's.
for sure,
gonna
like,
take us.
what kind of activities are they gonna
Well, they would
partake in?
attend our meetings. Then we would have special, who's heading it up, Brian would have a special date that they would get together and go through. Actually, like training scenarios, what happens when we're on a call, what do we do for calls, things like that. Just get them more involved and more informed on the volunteer fire status.
Have you thought how you might market this at the school?
Yes, we're waiting for this last approval here, if that works, and we'll reach out to the school. It works out really well right now because the person who wants to head it up has a child that is 17 years old, so we can get some word of mouth going pretty fast. And
So-
once we get that going, hopefully it would carry over as years go on.
Is it gonna be similar to like the Explorers program from like back when we were young?
Yes, similar to
That was
that,
really
but
popular when we were in
Right,
high school.
right,
we are gearing it just to 16 to 18-year-olds.
okay,
Because we want to be able to do a little more with them and get them when they're getting out of high school, and depending on what they decide to do when they're out of high school.
mhm,
If they're going to local school, if they're sticking around town, things like that, we can, if we have them educated through the state certifications, we can put them on.
mhm.
Or they could really go anywhere, wherever they go too.
Right, I mean, then, this is something that it may not benefit just Berlin, it could
Right.
prepare people, maybe they move to Amrum or
Right.
something like that, where they need it.
Would they have any sort of like responsibilities on like a fire call or
We're
like as
still,
far as like a help block traffic next to the officers or I don't know,
they would definitely be a part of cleanup.
okay,
I mean, we got a lot of hose to wash, a lot of hose to roll, trucks to be cleaned up, tools we put away where they belong. Things like that, we get them involved in that, so they learn the tools, learn placement of them on the trucks and things like that.
And they'd be on the payroll too, I'm guessing?
No.
Or no, this is all volunteer?
Yep.
Okay.
Very cool.
Any other questions?
Or we look at a motion to approve it.
There was just discussion. I don't know if there's anything
I don't
to
know
it.
where it falls, if I need your approval or not, but
Yeah,
I
no,
want
just
it.
discussion.
Yeah, I mean, if you need, I mean, do we need to approve something like that?
He's asking for it.
It's discussion with action as appropriate, so the
Yeah.
action would be to approve.
Well, I'll entertain a motion to approve the fire department, junior firefighter program.
So moved.
I'll second.
And a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to fire department expenses, recommendation approve the December 2025 fire department expenses as presented.
As you can see for the expenses, we start out with, we got our meeting pay, we pay that out one time a year, and it's in December. So everybody gets their pay for every meeting they attend. Next is the weekend call. There's a $60 per weekend that the chief, assistant chiefs are on call that they get for some extra pay that gets paid out once a year too, which is in the middle of December. So that's what those two expenses are. Our fire inspection services, we got billed for October, November, and December this month. So that's why it's a little higher, but it still falls within our budget numbers. We had to buy a few things at Kits and File. They had some DeWalt batteries that were on sale that we use for a lot of our cordless equipment. Some pre-mixed fuel for the chainsaws and a screwdriver set for the maintenance room. We have to test our SCBA. We have an air compressor that fills our bottles. We have to test it quarterly, so we pay for a year's sum, so this will be for 2026 testing supplies. Fuel man's the fuel for the trucks. We did have a little repair on our UTV after our last March fire. From Darley, we bought some turnout coat pants and boots. Our turnout gear is good for 10 years, so if it doesn't get damaged within those 10 years, you need to replace it. So we constantly are having stuff come due. Baycom was some batteries for our handheld radios. We had received a bunch of used radios at one point in time, and we had to buy some batteries to make them work. Amazon was the firefighter skills books that I was talking about for the junior firefighters, if we go forward with that. If not, for any firefighter that we put on, they'll need the book to go for class. And the DNR we bought, they have a grant match program, so we bought a number of items from them. Pails of foam, some chainsaw chaps, some hoses, and a number of other things. So that came to 25. We will get half of that back once I get the paperwork submitted.
Any questions? A motion to approve the December 2025 fire department expenses.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Kanoki, second by Hess. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Fire department reporting and updates.
And for fire calls, we had 12 calls for the month of December. A couple that were canceled en route, a couple CO calls. We did have a house fire on Park Avenue, which was contained to the one room, but there was a lot of smoke damage throughout the house, which they're working on fixing that back up. Then we had a shed fire out on 30th Drive, in the town of Aurora. When we arrived on scene, it was pretty much down to the ground. We did have mutual aid from Boisipi, Red Granite, and Ashboro for that call. So they were probably the bigger of the fires or incidents. Yeah. As far as maintenance issues go, we did have the UTV repair, and then we had a leak on engine 69. It was a corroded fitting, just comes with age. So we had to have Red Power come in and fix that. That bill did not make the sheet, I just got it, but it will come out of the 2025 budget. It happened back then. And then as far as activities goes, December activities for training, we spent one meeting going through the trucks and cleaning all the equipment again, because we had the major house fire, the marsh fire, and it was just, things need to get cleaned up and make sure everything's back where it belongs and everything's in proper working order. And then we did some changing of all the SCBA batteries, because they need to be changed once a year to keep up with our warranty with that. So that takes some time. And, as far as January activities go, we set the 2026 training schedule at our meeting on Monday. Tuesday night, we did self-contained breathing apparatus training, just getting the guys familiar with it. It's our one most important piece of equipment we have, it's our air. So we like to train on a regular basis with that, to keep everybody up to speed on it. And then, excuse me, this next Tuesday, the DNR will be in doing their annual wildland fire training for us.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I do. What exactly happened to your TV?
We had a bearing that went out in the front hub of it. But it just, it's a little more involved when you start taking it apart to fix it, so. When I talked to the people at Hexaco who did fix it, they believed it was probably still a result of the first issue that we had. Probably put some stress on it in a way that it wasn't supposed to be when we had it pretty much stuck in the ditch.
Yeah.
So they believe that was the cause of it. It just wasn't relevant until we started using it again. Pretty hard.
Any other questions? Thanks, Doug. Moving on to number 8, Police Department expenses. Recommendation approve the December 2025 Police Department expenses as presented.
You can see there's a couple of highlighted green items that were late entries. I'll start on the voucher sheet. You can see there's an entry for squad maintenance at Krause's. That was just oil change and tire rotation. The next entry is for Northeast Tech College, which was where one of the officers went to the detective training that I told you about last month. Custom service info is the annual policy update service. So our policy is based off of a template maintained by this company, and then the various customers for that company have opportunity to weigh in on those policies and ultimately offer some insight that some of the customers may not be aware of. So as a group or a community, so to speak, we kind of keep each other on our toes and make sure that our policies are where they should be. The corporate network solution charge is actually a replacement for our Barracuda backup system. So all of our information on the server was previously backed up by a company called Barracuda, and this option is about a third as much as the Barracuda system is. If I understand things right, this is a monthly charge as opposed to a yearly charge like Barracuda was. The advanced police supply charge is actually 2 ballistic vests to replace 2 of them that were 5 years old. The monthly printer charge, as you've seen before, there's a couple of blood draws for OWIs. The language line entries are for interpreter services. The paper is actually a split. I think that was 20 cases or something like that we split between our side of the hall and the city hall side, so that the clerks have at least 10 cases, and I think we ended up with 10. Is that accurate? Okay. Deer Creek is actually the software from which we launch our policies, and then we maintain the current version there, so I can see when staff has read them, how much time they spend reading them, things like that. That's an annual charge for Deer Creek. And then Sandali's, we had an issue with one of our squad cars, was actually a check engine light, and they found that there was a couple of plugs misfiring. You see the second language line entry, that's the late entry. Moving on to the credit card payments, you can see some postage, which is pretty typical. The searching meth test kits are for methamphetamine field tests. The double mag holder is actually a replacement for one of the guys that broke theirs dealing with an uncooperative subject. The Amazon charges is really like office supplies, things that we're using within the office. The body worn accessory mounts are for the body worn cameras. It's actually a different style than the one that came with the cameras. The ones that we originally received are 2 magnetic pieces. So one would fit, say, inside their uniform, and the other one would stick as a magnet to it, and then the camera would hang on the external one. The ones that we have here are actually more like a lobster claw, so to speak, that if they wear an external vest where they've got kind of webbing sewn on there, that it will actually clip into the webbing on their external vests. So it would afford them an option to wear it in a different manner that might actually be a little more secure than the magnetic ones. The full bill for the SIM card and the squad cars, that was, you see that every month for the computers that we have in the cars. The heat paper for the squads is just that, it's paper that we use to issue citations inside of the squad car. The lights for the tent are actually battery operated lights that we used on our pop-up tent at the Nathan Strong Park, the Christmas tree lighting. The guys were out there serving hot chocolate and really just kind of doing community relations with some lights on the tent. Batteries, that's again something that we're using within the office when something's dead. Zip ties, car visors, and then tire pressure sensors, or not sensors, but yeah, at any rate, so we can check tire pressure on the squad cars. I'm sorry, I'm running out of words here. Those are identified during our squad inspections as things that we needed to maintain in the squad cars. The cordless tire inflator, we don't have a air compressor down in the police garage, and then sometimes if the streets department is not available, we can't use their air compressor. Foot Troops was down for a little while, so we said, forget it, we'll just pick ourselves up a cordless one that we can use if we need to. Johnson Hotel training, that was actually to coincide with the previously mentioned Northeast Tech College for the detective training. Notepads, again, guys are carrying those in their uniforms, so if they're at a call for service, that they can take some notes. The AED is something that we received a $500 donation from Farmers and Merchants Bank right around Christmas. We applied that toward the purchase of an AED that is actually replacing a 2009 model. And then the surgery charge at the end is some marijuana test kits. Any questions on the expenses?
The paper, you said you split it with the city. Is that cost? Is that the split cost?
That's our share.
That's your share? Okay. Let's make sure. Any other questions? Need a motion to approve the December 2025 police department expenses.
I'll make a motion to approve the December 2025 police department expenses.
Second.
A motion by Krenz, second by Hess. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to police department reporting and updates.
I think everybody's got a copy of the activity extract that you see every month. You can see the traffic stops are below average for the month, although not significantly so. Out of the 10 property damage crashes, just 2 of them were parking lot related this month. The theft reports surprisingly were below average given the time of year. A lot of times you see a little bit of an uptick right around the holidays. In this month, all 3 of them were package theft, so where somebody had, say, Amazon or another delivery service deliver a package to their either apartment or residence, and somebody took that package prior to the ordering person picking it up. Domestic use incidents were significantly higher than they were last month, with the year's average being about 3 per month, so they were higher than would be considered average for the year. And sometimes that again can be attributed to stress from holiday events and things like that. Any questions on the extract? As far as our past month and upcoming month's activities, the body cam pilot program server and the processing of digital files appears to be going pretty well. We're still ironing out a couple of things with various entities that aren't used to receiving the videos as links. For example, just today we were contending with social services as they hadn't typically received them as links from us. We don't commonly send them videos. So they just wanted a quick rundown on how to obtain that, and then if they wanted to save it, to save this or whatever they do on their end with it. Annual training on response to active shooter took place in the city of Green Lake at the high school in December, and that included law enforcement from the various agencies within Green Lake County. Shift picks are all completed. 2026 is predominantly solidified. All staff are remaining on their current shifts, and just one member is changing rotation on their shift. So on the afternoon shifts, to better allocate or better balance their staffing, we moved one guy's rotation, but he's still working the same hours they did last year. The end of this school year will be the end of the third year for Officer Platt as the SRO, so at some point here, we're gonna need to start the process of SRO selection and ultimately work with the school to rotate Officer Platt out of the school and somebody else into that billet. The 25th annual Shop at the Hometown Hero event was at Walmart in December. There were about 100 kids, generous owners, volunteers, and staff from various departments, including the National Guard, helped make it a success. We have started scheduling for our annual in-service things like DAT, EVOC, and firearms. Our first DAT session is later on this month in January. Any questions?
Thanks, Chief. Number 10, old business to be used to request items of old business to be put on future agenda for further discussion or action, or used to make a motion for a reconsideration of an item from the current meeting or immediately previously meeting, or to take a motion to take items off the table which were laid on the table only during the current meeting. Somebody have any old business? New business to be used to request items of new business to be put on future agendas. Anybody have any new business?
You want annual reports next month, or I think typically the city has them for the committee of the whole or common council actually in March, but I should have mine completed and could get it to you next month if you wanted to see them in February.
When did we do it? I'm trying to remember when we did it. Was it in January?
We did fires last February.
Last February, yeah. Last February.
For some reason, I was thinking the city.
Actually, I can look right now.
Like this.
Yeah, I don't got my
Sorry,
previous.
March. Okay, I might be wrong.
Not that I want to take up the legal time here. 2025. January. Okay, so it was February when we received them.
Do we want to do them both at the same time?
You think will you be ready for February, or do you need some time?
Should be, if I have to be.
February it is.
February it is.
I also have service awards to hand out in February,
Okay, I'll get that on the agenda.
and maybe a new applicant.
That's always good to hear. Anything else?
Go over there.
Number 12, motion to convene a closed session, relation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Staff updates. Need a motion. What?
Go ahead.
What?
I thought you needed a motion to go into closed session.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Okay, okay.
Need a motion to go into closed session. Huh?
Do we have anything for closed session?
Yes,
We do?
that's why it's on the agenda.
Okay, okay, yes, I make a motion to go closed session, I'm sorry.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor? Or we do a roll call. Roll call, sorry.
My bad.
Yes, here.
Hess,
Aye.
Ross,
Yes.
Milky,
Yeah,
Brent,
Yes, here.
All right, we're moving into closed session at 6:57. You gotta be all
Okay,
flustered when
I
you were
did,
like,
because I'm like.
I'm like, what are you, I'm not adjourning, I'm